Hello, it's 51st Parallel. Today I'm happy to have a conversation with someone from Uzbekistan. It's not a close country, I would say quite the opposite. This is why I'm eager to learn what brought this person here. Together we'll discuss some differences between the two countries, and perhaps we'll even find some similarities. Hello, Roman. How are you doing?
Yes, hello. Hi, dear listeners. I'm very pleased to be with you today. Thank you for asking. I'm doing great. Feeling a little bit tired because it's been only some couple of days when I came to Wrocław. Yes, and I haven't got used to my students' independent life, living in dormitory, figuring out documents like PESEL, Meldunek, the thing like this.
Yeah, of course, a lot of things to figure out, but still, good luck. Good luck with that, and hope it will be a pleasurous experience.
Yes, for sure. Well, however, I wouldn't say that I'm feeling lost. New life for me has begun, and I'm actually enjoying my new experience, even though I'm far from my family and country.
That's awesome. I would like to mention that you're from Uzbekistan. I mean, I have mentioned that in the introduction, but still, you said that, of course, your family is far away from you, at least for now. And let's talk a little bit more about this country. What can you say about Uzbekistan?
Well, yes, it's right. So, actually, I would like to begin in the part where I'm from. So, yeah, I was born and raised in Tashkent, very beautiful and also quite an ancient city, around 2,500 years old. Yes, and Tashkent is the capital of Uzbekistan. It's a country which located in Central Asia. Interesting region from historical and geographical perspective, I would say. About geography, mountains, deserts, and these empty, endless steppes.
Of course, I mean, yeah, actually, I didn't know that it is that old.
Yeah, and it's only about Tashkent. This region in Central Asia, it's quite warm region, I say. So, yeah, many people from ancient times could live there.
Yeah, I mean, that perfectly makes sense. We see that all over the place, let's say Africa, for example, or the Mediterranean Sea. Also, people started probably, I'm not sure whether the Mediterranean Sea is called the cradle of civilizations, but there are such places, and usually these places are warm because, again, people perhaps like warm climate, and it's also more suitable for agriculture, so that perfectly makes sense.
Yes, and it's only if we talk about Tashkent, but there are also another cities in Uzbekistan which are much more older than Tashkent. For example, Samarkand. I'm afraid to be mistaken, but I guess some scientists say that it's more than 3,000 years old. And of course there lived a lot of ancient people, like Neanderthals, of course, but I guess we are not discussing them in our podcast.
No, we're not, but
about
still, that's an interesting fact. I mean, impressive. So, are there any, let's say, places that you can visit that are very ancient and that are still preserved?
Yes, of course. There are still a lot of monuments from ancient times which are preserved in Uzbekistan. Actually, I would like to describe Uzbekistan. In two words, I describe it as multi-traditional and multicultural. Uzbekistan is actually located in the heart of Asia, I'd say, and it always have been as a crossroads between East and West, Asia and Europe, during the Silk Road age, for example. And the Uzbek culture is a mix of different national influences, especially Persian, Mongols, Arabic, and even Greek one. If we talk about history, so of course their steps are still on the territory of Uzbekistan. Yes, and if to talk about modern time, during the USSR, there also was Russian influence, and there were sent many Ukrainians, Belarusians, Germans, Koreans, and less people from other parts of communistic regions, other parts of regions, Latvia, Lithuania, I mean. Yeah, and everything's been reflected in Uzbek folk arts, literature, of course, and architecture, oh yes, and the language, of course, which, to my opinion, makes Uzbekistan a fascinating place to explore.
Have you been to some other places apart from Tashkent, let's say in Uzbekistan?
Yes, of course. I actually love traveling. I love traveling with my family. I was in other parts. I was interested in history of my country, of course. I was in Samarkand, if you know. It was the capital for quite a long time. And there also were some ancient cities as Bukhara, Khiva, Bukhara and Samarkand actually quite Persian cities, and there live a lot of people whose native language is Tajik. Tajik is the dialect of Persian language. It just has a little bit differences, and people from these parts of Uzbekistan are able to speak Persian, both Uzbek and Russian, yeah, and they can study in Persian language in school, get textbooks in their languages. Also to mention other parts of Uzbekistan, there is such republic called Karakalpakstan. It has its own capital even, called Nukus, and they also have their own Senate, I would say. They have their official language, Karakalpak language. It's similar to Kazakh language, not really similar to Uzbek language. Yeah, and if you live in Karakalpakstan, for example, you can get textbooks in Karakalpak language. Yes, such a difficult word for pronouncing.
It is. Wow, that's interesting. Actually, I didn't think that Uzbekistan is made up of different, let's say, republics. Do you call them republics there, or regions, or?
Yeah, that's interesting fact. In fact, we call Uzbekistan as a republic. Republic of Uzbekistan is official name, but actually, in fact, we also studied at school this. It's not like mistake, but. There is also another republic, and it makes Uzbekistan a federation. So it's actually a federation, but I don't know why. But we are taught to call Uzbekistan as a republic.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify. Okay, interesting. Wow, again, it's a surprise for me that this country is at least like not officially, but we can call it like federation. And by the way, you said something like, I'm interested in history of my country. So my next question would be, what is your origin? What do you think of yourself? Because again, like you previously told me that you have some Polish roots, and so how do you feel in this country? And as far as I understand, you feel that it is your country, right?
Right, that's correct. So, as I mentioned before, in Uzbekistan there live a lot of other nations, like Belarusian people, Ukrainian people, who were sent during the USSR. They can move there during that period of time. So I guess it's common if somebody from Uzbekistan has a lot of different roots. If to talk about me, well, yeah, I have many roots. Such an international project. Yeah, I've got Russian roots, Ukrainian roots, Polish, Bulgarian, Moldovan, Bashkir roots, Tatar roots, Jewish, Uzbek, Korean roots even. Yeah, I guess that's all what I remember.
Oh, okay. That's quite impressive, I'd say. Yeah. So as you mentioned, you're an international project, right? Nice. Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about culture of Uzbekistan, and also, let's say labor division there, because one of my friends, he was actually born in Uzbekistan, although I believe for most of his life he lived in Kazakhstan later. He said something like, for him it was a surprise when he came to Poland, and when he was in a tram, let's say, going to work. he saw so many women there going to work as well.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
for him it was quite a surprise. He said something like that. In Uzbekistan, it's a little bit different. You see more men, let's say, going to work and on the streets, perhaps.
Hmm.
So, what can you say about that? And have you noticed that?
Yeah, that's a good question about, well, actually, I'm a little bit surprised that your friend could make such a big accent on this topic. I don't know. I never thought about this. I guess, well, in Uzbekistan, okay, I'm not sure about Kazakhstan, but if we talk about Uzbekistan, so our government even doesn't allow people to not to work. I mean, after school, our governments, it likes controls us. It likes to controlling us. I mean, it after school, after we graduate school, we are obligated to work, either to do other activities. And yes, we are asked in a very rude way what we do after school. So I'm not sure what situation was your friend in. Yeah, of course, if we talk about older people, well, it depends on family, maybe. I'm from the capital, so life there is very different from other regions. Regions are more traditional, yeah. Yeah, if we talk about the difference in our lifestyle, yeah, in Europe and in Uzbekistan, yeah, of course, it's in general, it's infrastructure, um, architecture, of course, yeah, building methods. There are more innovative technologies in Europe, yes, and economy in Europe is more advanced. But yeah, unfortunately, Uzbekistan hasn't a strong emphasis on individual rights, yeah, equality, and social justice. Uzbekistan is more traditional and conservative society with a focus on its own family values and religious traditions. Yeah, but of course we don't live in Middle Ages. Many young people watch Western YouTube. They learn English by themselves. Like they read uh, articles, yeah, books, Western books, and they're more known to modern tolerance than older people. Yeah, they understand that it's important to respect everybody and listen to other people's opinions and ideas, and it makes me feel happy. Yes, for sure. I guess in soon it won't be a huge difference in this sphere, I believe.
I see. I see how it is. Yeah, maybe again, like I'm not sure what my friend meant when he said this thing, but still, he noticed the difference. You didn't notice. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this period when you came here to Poland. How was it for you to, let's say, adapt to this lifestyle, and yeah, just in general, how was your adaptation here?
Well, for sure it was challenging. Yes, like moving to another country, and I lived with my family, with my siblings, parents, grandparents, such a big family, and we all meet, yeah, talk to each other every day. Like we lived together, yeah, and now I'm just on my own. Life became independent for me. I started being more independent, yeah, as I told before.
Do you find it difficult to live on your own?
Actually, good question, I guess. Well, in Europe, in Warsaw, where everything can be found on internet, yes, it won't be that challenging. Like if I moved to Uzbekistan, for example, from Warsaw, yeah, I think I would be more confused. No, it's fine. It's fine. Milduna can pass a dance, so yeah, I can.
Nice, nice.
I'm fine.
Okay, so you said something like if someone moved, for example, from Warsaw to any city in Uzbekistan, it would be much much more difficult, right? So what do you mean? What do you mean by saying that not everything can be found on the internet?
Yes. So the thing is that, as I told before, we're not from middle age. Yes, we of course watch movies. We are aware how Western life in Europe even looks like. At least we know some ideas of this lifestyle. But I guess people from Europe are not aware how life in Uzbekistan looks like at all, and uh, it would be much more difficult for somebody from Europe in Uzbekistan. But of course, everybody can get used to our traditions. Um,
Okay, so basically everyone can survive.
yes,
Okay.
of course, of course. It's quite safe country, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Uzbekistan is safe. I
Okay.
guess, if I'm not mistaken, on the ranking of uh, CIS countries, like a former USSR, it's one of the safest countries.
Oh, among the former
Yeah,
USSR countries.
that's
Okay.
what I mean.
Interesting. Interesting. I want to visit Uzbekistan one day, definitely.
Oh, please, we are
Mhm.
welcome.
Okay, thank you. What would you recommend visiting there?
Well, first of all, when you arrive to Uzbekistan, first place it will be our airport in Tashkent for sure. So the capital is going to be your first place for visiting. Then you probably go take a metro to your hotel. Tashkent. Well, I would recommend you to find some good guide who would be able to show you Tashkent and talk about every stone, about each brick in our city. Yeah, it would be very helpful, I guess. 3 days will be enough, I think. If you're just tourist, you can walk. Actually, yeah, Tashkent is quite big city, but as a tourist, there are some couple of places. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a list of them. I think you will be able to find on.
What if, for example, I'm interested more in nature? Because, like, honestly, for me, cities, yes, it is interesting, but still, I like to explore nature more. So, what would you recommend visiting in this case?
So in this case, you probably wouldn't like cities. Um, Then I think you can enjoy our mountains, nature. Yeah, it's not far. You can take a train, not like PKP Intercity, but it also will be comfortable enough. Yeah,
Don't
you're.
worry, come on, I'm from Belarus.
Oh,
I know
yes, you
what
should
you're
know
talking
how
about.
it's. Oh my God, but no, 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 it's going to be enjoyable, let's say so.
Okay,
Our trains where a lot of people, let's say you will meet our culture in a better way.
okay.
So yeah,
I'm
take
not
it.
scared of that though, so yeah. Good, thanks. Okay, so what have you visited here in Poland so far?
Well, first place uh, was of course Warsaw. Yeah, I came here by plane, so Warsaw, Lotnisko Chopina, tak I think it was called. I actually lived in Warsaw with my friends for a week, so yes, I had a good chance to meet this city, to get acquainted with it. I mean, um, I enjoyed Warsaw. I like these skyscrapers, these high buildings. Well, in Tashkent, they only are built by Chinese companies and Turkish ones, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, some of them, but they're not so high. Yeah, so Warsaw was very modern for me. I also was in Łódź. Oh my god, and yes, of course, I was in Gdańsk and Słupsk. It was one of my nicest memories because in Gdańsk, it was my first time when I saw sea. It's like I'm from quite hot region. I'm literally from desert, and there I see just a lot of water, just like sea. I was with my friend, and yeah, I was happy as a child. I was ready to yell and like sea water. Wow, it's so blue. It has so much water. I was impressed so much.
Amazing. Just yeah, cannot imagine. Probably you couldn't believe your eyes, right?
I couldn't, yes, for sure. Well, yeah, I also was in Poznań. I like the city. There are a lot of parks and families. I was in Krakow, yeah, and Białystok. Oh my God! And
Oh, so
now,
you actually visited like most of the major cities, right?
yeah, but this year I would like to visit Lublin and Toruń. Yeah, I haven't been there, it's there yet. Now I live in Wrocław, so nice city.
Okay. What can you tell about Wrocław?
It's quite different from other cities in Poland which I visited. It's quite similar to Warsaw, I'd say, because it's quite huge. Well, to be honest, Krakow seemed to me a little bit small town, but Wrocław seemed to me a huge one with a good transport system. Yeah, trams. It's very good.
Yeah, it's definitely
There are a lot
like
of
one
parks.
of the most convenient
Oh my
things.
God, and architecture, yes, buildings. Oh my God, each street which I visit in Wrocław, I just make picture and send to my friends and family in Uzbekistan, and they are all impressed. Like, wow, yeah,
Yeah, and of course.
it's so Europe-like. How we imagine Europe, Wrocław is like this.
Okay, what about the river? Do you have any river which like goes through Tashkent?
Through Tashkent, actually, in whole Central Asia, I think there are only two huge rivers, and they're quite dry. It's Sirdarya and Amudarya, if you know. Yeah, unfortunately, they are not in a really good mood, I'd say, because Aral Sea, this climatic catastrophe. In Tashkent, well, we have some small rivers.
Like springs, right?
Yes, it's more like springs, not like rivers. Yeah, and we have them a lot across our streets. Yeah, so it's but Oder, Ordera, I think. Yeah, in
Odra.
Odra in Polish, it's called. It's yeah, it's huge. I've never seen something like this. Well,
Yeah, it is beautiful. Also, like bridges, and yeah, it looks nice. I agree. Can you explain to me the, let's say, syntax? I guess, yeah, it's called syntax of these words like amurtarya and sirtarya. What does it mean, darya, this part?
oh, okay, that's actually one of my most favorite topics to discuss. So Sir Dario, Sir in Uzbek means secret. And Dario means river, so Sir Dario means like a
Secret river?
Not really. It's like I would say I would translate it like a river of secrets.
Ah,
And
okay.
yeah, and what about Amudaryo? Well, to be honest, I'm not sure. I
But
guess,
still, okay, Dario means river.
yeah, that's right. And Tashkent, for example, the city, the name of my city, Tosh means stone, and Kent, like Samarkand, for example, means city. So Tashkent means city from a stone. Yes. Oh, there's also a nice story about one of our cities. It's called Khiva. So there is a story about Noi, I think in Russian, but I'm not sure how was his name in English. Noah, I think.
Noah, yeah.
Yeah, Noah, like from the person from Bible. We believe that Khiva was found by Noah when he first started walking. He found some well where he could drink water. So he drank water from there, and he yelled Khiva, which means in ancient language, in ancient Persian, it means good water. So yeah, that's a story how Khiva was founded.
One more question I have. What are you doing here?
In Wrocław, well, I'm a student of PWR. Yeah, I study on Faculty of Civil Engineering, or is known as budownictwo in Polish. I guess you would like to listen to the story of my choice,
Of course,
right?
sure. Why
So-
Poland in the first place?
Why Poland? Well, as I told before, I've got Polish roots, yes, and to be honest, I didn't think that I would come to Poland for study. I was thinking about Uzbekistan, I guess, with my family, not to move abroad. But as I told before, I've got Polish roots, and our embassy in Poland informed us about some program, NAVA, as it was called. So yeah, I took a part in this, and now I'm here in Poland. Yeah, I'm very happy that I can study. I can learn Polish history of my ancestors, and I can study in the language of them. I love speaking Polish and reading Polish language.
Just wonderful, yeah. And also, let's mention that back there in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent, you also learned some Polish, right?
Yeah, of course.
So you had some courses, I believe, right? And
Yeah, our embassy it provided some Polish courses, and I guess I learned Polish very good there. Thanks to, I'm very grateful our embassy in Tashkent that I could study Polish there.
so what are your...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And just in case, I would like to say thank you to my teacher of Polish language. So, dziękuję bardzo, pani Agnieszka.
Oh, great, wonderful. Yeah, of course. I mean, thanks to her, to some degree, to some extent, you're here. So yeah,
Yes.
that's really awesome. What are your plans for the future? Like, what do you want to achieve, and like why this specialization?
Yeah, so I've got many goals. I've got many plans, yeah, and I don't think it would be right if I shared them with publics, but I will.
Okay, sure. Yeah, as long as you're comfortable, you can say some things. But if you don't want to reveal some things, that's perfectly fine. You know, actually, some scientists say that. Okay, maybe not scientists, but some psychologists. Okay, now that sounds ridiculous, because psychologists probably they are scientists. Anyway, some psychologists say that it's not good to reveal your goals because in our brain it sort of like puts this mark that okay, you've achieved
I
this
also
goal.
support their opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
what I can tell, yeah, I will do my best to develop all of my spheres in life, yeah, and I'll become a great specialist in my sphere. Yeah, and I'm very grateful that PWR can help me with that a lot.
well, I wish you all the luck in the world. Yeah, to do that seriously. Okay, and let's just can you give some advice to people who plan to study abroad, who plan to go to a faraway country, let's say, how to deal with all of this, and is it worth it?
Well, yes, of course it's worth it. I know that in beginning it can be challenging, of course, but I guess it will go but its own in its natural way. Yeah, I just would like, I would like to wish to students who live far from their families and countries something. Well, first of all, our dear listeners who live far from their motherlands, I wish you encouragement, positivity, and huge curiosity to your new place. Remember that you have a great chance to know absolutely new culture, new language, arts, and educational methods. So enjoy your experience. Remember that you're the best, and you're the best students of the best university in the world.
Well, thank you very much for coming. It's been a wonderful conversation with you, Roma, or Roman, let's say.
Sure, thanks so
Yeah.
much. It was a pleasure.
And yeah, just thank you, and again, good luck in your studies, in your life. And if you have any questions, you know how to find me. You have my contact. Yeah, and I'll see you in the future, I guess.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye. This podcast was recorded at Radio Luz, LUZ on campus of Wrocław University of Science and Technology. You can find more episodes on our YouTube channel, as well as on various other platforms connected to Radio Luz. You can write to us to 51st.parallel.podcast@gmail.com, which is 51st.parallel.podcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening and see you next time.